This is Living Life Behind Bars.
Them tires up, you know how we do. Anyone else that drives a motorcycle, y'all do this for the first couple minutes or first couple seconds to warm the tires up? Drop a comment, let me know. I figure if it's good enough for them to do in NASCAR, it's good enough for me to do. Don't really know if it does anything, but they say it warms the tires up and helps you get good grip, so I don't know. Well, it's your boy Tiny. Another Living Life Behind Bars creation. So, in the comments of my last video, someone asked me about Brotherhood. Not like brothers, Brotherhood, but just like Brotherhood. So, like a lot of things in life, that's kind of a relative creation. I mean, a relative term. I'll tell you more in a minute. just throw the finger out and go. holders on my camera. And we'll get back at it. Like you can see, this is the U.S. National Cemetery, one of them. And I'm going to stop the video now. So, again, this is the New Bern National Cemetery. For those of you that aren't familiar with New Bern, it was, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it was the first capital before Raleigh. Back in like the 1700s, George Washington came through here. There's some real old churches and houses that supposedly George Washington and a bunch of the other people, I think Ben Franklin was supposed to be here, I can't remember, but if you're a historian, you know about it probably. But so that's where we are. Someone commented, actually it was my brother, commented that I should do a video on Brotherhood. In the context that it was posed, I knew what he was talking about. He was talking about motorcycle club, all right? So, and the comment, as you can see, if you read my comments, you can see that I said I have no experience in a motorcycle club, so I can't really, with any degree of knowledge or whatever else, I can't answer that question. So I'm not the one. It's, you know, pretty much what I wrote. But the way that my mind works, it kind of goes in opposite directions sometimes, or maybe not opposite direction, but a different direction. So I kind of think that's what happened in this situation. And the way my mind went was brotherhood. What defines brotherhood? And so like the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I just wonder, I do not know. I should, because my family has come here every year at Christmas for probably the last, well, I'm going to say 8 of the last 10 years to do the wreath laying. And at that time, each of these graves has a green wreath that they put in front of it. These, I was hoping that I would find one. People will also put a penny on these that only have a number to let them know that they are not forgotten. This particular one is the father of a friend of the family for 50 years now. Let me get this. This is the type of stuff that kind of tears your heart out. But like I was saying, my mind went to Brotherhood. Okay, what does that? And so I got to thinking. And I thought this was really the best place that I could come to do a video to kind of answer that question. Like I was going to say a minute ago, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, wonder what we could gain from the insights of all these men, women, and children. If you are, or if you ever have been in the military, thank you for your service. I hope that when you're out and you have your retired hat on, or you have your hat of the aircraft carrier you were on, or you have your I've seen some people, you know, that still wear their like their camouflage, their cover, what we would call it. In the town that I grew up in, it was a marine town, and they just call it a cover, the camouflage one. So anyway, I hope when you're out and you have any of that stuff on and people see you, I hope that they make it a point to tell you thank you for your service. I hope that sometime when you go up to the register and pay for your meal, I hope it's already been paid for by someone showing their honor and their respect to you. This video is not about me. I know I've been talking a lot, but I just wanted to bring you out here to answer the question about Brotherhood. I could go on and on because, like I said, the military town that I grew up in, most of my friends' fathers were in the military. And then a lot of them, once they grew up, they went in the military. So I've got stories and stories. But it got me thinking, this situation, you've all heard of people that either neglected their own personal safety to help their company or another company or whatever in war or in a skirmish or whatever you want to call it. And that takes a special type of person to do that. But I wonder, and I'm sure there's stories and situations out there But it got me wondering. I'm going to sit down here and turn this camera around. It got me wondering, do you know anyone that would die for their enemy? I got thinking about that. And it'd be hard enough to give up your own life for a friend. Talked about friends last video. But imagine giving up your life for the enemy. And then I got to thinking, again, because it'll make way my mind works, kind of jumped from one subject to the next. I got to thinking that is exactly what Jesus did for me. The Bible says when I was still an enemy of God, he came to die for me. You may have heard this, you may not have heard this, but if you were the only person on earth, God would have still sent Jesus for your salvation. That's a lot to wrap your arms around, your head around. Why in the world would someone want to die for an enemy? Someone that doesn't like them, spits in her face, not literally, but literally when it happened to Jesus. But for us, this side of the cross, when we did stuff that we knew was wrong, or stuff that we didn't know was wrong, but it still was. That's what we did. We participated in that. We spit in Jesus's face. We slapped Jesus. We put that crown of thorns on his head. No, it's a little bit late for Easter, but that's the way my mind works. And so I just wanted to share that. For those of you that are Christ followers, you know what Jesus did. And hopefully, I don't do it a lot. I work on it. But I try to, as much as I can in an imperfect body, I try to be as much like Jesus as I can. Now, that opens up a whole nother theological discussion that we not even going to touch on, but how he was 100% man, but 100% human. How he was perfect, how he never sinned. That's videos all in themselves. But my point is, for those of you that don't know Jesus yet, we don't ever know. I've mentioned in another video somewhere that I had a friend that we were texting on Thursday and got a call Sunday that she was gone. So doesn't matter if you're young, doesn't matter if you're old, doesn't matter if you're in good health. We're all, unless we live to see the rapture, we're all going to meet that time where we breathe our last. And the bad part about that is we don't know when that is. So we need to be ready. This is not a sermon. Didn't start out to be a sermon. It just kind of came to me. And so I just knew I had to say it. So those of you that haven't accepted Jesus yet, I wouldn't put it off. You don't ever know. You might go out today and not make back home tonight. I don't mean to be pessimistic. I'm just being real. That's real talk. Everyone out there probably knows of someone that happened to. I'm not going to tell you that when you accept Jesus, everything's going to be perfect and you're not going to have any trials, tribulations. In my experience, it's been just the opposite. Once I start to try to do more for Jesus, that's when the devil throws stuff in my path to mess me up, to make me stumble. So I'm not going to tell you like some TV preachers that, you can live your best life now, everything's fine, all you got to do is accept Jesus and you won't have any trial. I'm not going to tell you that, because that to me is just a bald-faced lie. Like I said, I've had the biggest trials and tribulations that I've had since I've been a Christian. But in the long run, it's worth it. So, again, this didn't start out to be a sermon, but I guess it kind of turned into one. But I would just think about it. If you have a friend that's a Christian, ask them about it. If you want to know more, drop a comment down there, and I'll definitely answer the best I can. If I can't answer your question, I'll find out. But again, I just wanted to bring you out here to answer the question, what do I think of Brotherhood? And I think it's defined by what you see here. So, until next time, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for liking and subscribing and doing all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next video. God bless you.
Remember, until next ride, keep the rubber side down, be blessed, and peace.